Avoid these 5 gas station brands. They're destroying your engine, but 3 brands will save it. Did you know that over 70% of gasoline sold in the US doesn't contain enough detergents to keep engines clean? That's why carbon buildup alone causes over 500,000 cars to break down each year. So we recommend avoiding these 5 gasoline brands, and make sure to watch until the end of the video to see the 3 brands that actually protect your engine. But first, let's understand why you need to be more careful when choosing gas, because not all gasoline is the same. Gas is gas. They're all the same. Many people, maybe even you, grew up thinking that as long as you fill up, the car will run. Brand or quality didn't matter. Back then, the choice was simple. Fewer brands, concentrated supply, limited information, and the top-tier certification didn't even exist yet. People trusted that EPA standard gasoline was enough. But how well does the EPA's minimum standard actually protect modern engines with direct injection systems, turbochargers, or sensitive emissions controls? The EPA standard is just a baseline. It ensures the car survives, but does not optimize performance or longevity. The detergents in gasoline, the silent cleaning chemicals, are what actually keep engines clean, prevent carbon buildup on injectors, intake valves, and combustion chambers, reduce knocking, and help the car run smoothly. Top-tier gas uses 2 to 3 times the detergent of the EPA minimum, while non-top tier stops at the minimum to save costs. In other words, cheaper gas isn't better, it just has fewer protective chemicals. So how do you know which gas is truly reliable? We built a transparent set of criteria based on 5 factors. Whether the brand is top-tier certified, its history of contamination or excess ethanol, fuel turnover and quality management at the station, additive formula and consistency over the years, and feedback from mechanics and experienced drivers. We don't rely on rumors, single personal experiences, or promote or attack any brand. Each brand is evaluated based on data and real evidence because one station in one state can be completely different from another. Once you understand these criteria, let's take a look at the brands that, in our opinion, you should think twice about before using. You know this name well, right? One obvious strength of 7-Eleven gas is price. It's usually lower and more stable compared to major brands. And the dense station network means you never have to worry about running out of gas on the road. On top of that, convenience is probably what makes it a popular choice across the US. Quick snacks, quick fill-ups, time saved. Sounds great, right? However, if you look closely, you might notice that most stations aren't on the top tier list. This doesn't mean the gas is dirty or immediately dangerous. It just indicates that detergent levels meet the EPA minimum standard, not the higher level of top tier. As a result, over time, carbon can accumulate on injectors and intake valves, especially on older cars or cars driven infrequently, leading to reduced fuel efficiency, rough idling, or even knocking. Problems that aren't cheap to fix. Additionally, fuel quality isn't consistent across locations. The franchise model means each station depends on its own supply and management. So, a station you trust in New York might be completely different from one in suburban Texas. Some stations may have low fuel turnover, increasing the risk of water contamination or stale gas, which a 10 to 20 cent saving per gallon can hardly compensate for when injector cleaning or carbon removal costs hundreds of dollars. If you own older or infrequently driven cars, note that they are more sensitive to carbon buildup, and keeping the engine clean can be costly. Rather than feeling forced to change stations, drivers can alternate. Continue using 7-Eleven when convenient, but occasionally fill up at a top-tier station to protect the engine long-term. 7-Eleven gas isn't a bad brand. It's still safe and convenient for most daily driving needs, but if you care about keeping combustion chambers clean, reducing buildup risk, and optimizing engine longevity, it's not the absolute best choice. The reason many people choose Circle K for gas is probably obvious. Convenient payment, plenty of pumps, minimal wait time, ideal for drivers who need a quick fill-up or are on a long road trip. Prices in many areas are also competitive, especially in the South and West, helping save money daily or reduce costs for long-haul drivers. At some high-traffic stations, fuel turnover is high, and quality can even exceed the average. So, if this brand is so good, why is it on our list? Similar to 7-Eleven, a large number of stations in the US are not registered as top tier, meaning they only meet the EPA minimum standard. This doesn't mean the gas is low quality, but detergent levels appear to be at the minimum, implying a higher risk of carbon buildup with the long-term use. One reason Circle K can be unpredictable is that fuel quality varies between states and even between stations in the same city. The main cause is the distribution model. Circle K doesn't directly control detergent blending at each station, but leaves it to local distributors. Each distributor adjusts detergent levels differently based on cost, market demand, or internal standards. This leads to a somewhat funny but serious reality. You might fill up at a Circle K station in Dallas and get decent detergent levels, but drive to another station in Houston, same brand, same gas type, and engine protection could be significantly lower. Even a fuel turnover, the rate at which fuel is cycled, can vary. At low turnover stations, gas sites longer in the tank, detergent potency decreases, and the risk of water or impurities increases. If your engine has already started accumulating carbon, continuing to use non-top tier fuel can accelerate the problem. Mild knocking, rough idle, or reduced performance. Next, we have Safeway Fuel. The name itself already sounds safe, right? With a network of stations primarily across the western and northwestern US, this brand offers clear convenience, especially for those already used to shopping at the supermarket chain. Fuel prices are usually stable combined with the fuel rewards program that provides significant discounts, making older customers or budget-conscious drivers feel satisfied with their wallets. However, the brand faces some challenges that often go unnoticed because the stations must synchronize with the supermarket's logistics. Inventory, storage, staffing, fuel turnover can sometimes be slower than independent gas station chains. This long-stored fuel means detergents can degrade, ethanol may separate, or water vapor can accumulate quietly but not harmlessly. And if you're loyal to one station because of the fuel rewards program, be careful. Buying a lot of gas from the same location is both a benefit and a risk. When that station doesn't maintain fast turnover or optimal additives, your engine quietly becomes a victim of loyalty. It sounds ironic, but it's true. This effect is even more pronounced in older cars or vehicles that aren't driven regularly, especially GTI or small turbo engines. Safeway Fuel doesn't cause immediate harm, but over a few years you may notice rough idling, sluggish throttle response, reduced MPG, or higher routine maintenance costs. And many drivers mistakenly blame the car's age when in reality the culprit is the fuel they trusted. Costco gas is always mentioned as a lifesaver. In an era when everything from milk cartons to toilet paper keeps rising in price, prices seem almost always stable. But unfortunately, not all Costco stations are the same. The same big red logo, the same membership card, but fuel quality depends on the state, certification, and sometimes even the mood of the local area. Some Costco are top tier. Strong additives, clean combustion chambers, smooth driving. And then there are Costco that aren't top tier, meaning additives are only at an average level. Top tier certification costs money. Costco is only registered in some states. In those states, your car runs smoothly, throttle is responsive, and injectors stay clean. In states without registration, you only get the minimum EPA-required additives, enough to be legal, but not enough for long-term engine protection. Then there's the ethanol mix, E10 in one state, E15 in another. For older cars, especially older pickups or SUVs, higher ethanol is a major enemy. You might notice symptoms like mild knocking during acceleration, vibrations at idle lower MPG, or a sluggish throttle feel. You might think your car is just getting old, but the reality is that ethanol is slowing it down. That said, Costco isn't entirely bad. As mentioned, some stations are top tier. Also, their quality control process is quite strict. Busy stations tend to refill fuel frequently, which is particularly helpful in places with long winters or high humidity, where gasoline left standing can separate or absorb water. Operationally, Costco does very well. If a top-tier station is near you, go ahead and fill up freely, but if not, just alternate by filling up from another top-tier brand every few times. Protect your engine without spending much extra. People on the west coast of the US seem very familiar with this brand. Arco is famous for being cheap. Compared to Shell or Chevron, it really saves money, enough to make many people willing to drive a few extra blocks just to grab a price 15 to 30% lower. Moreover, the stations are densely packed across the west coast, making them very convenient for locals. The biggest issue is that Arco regular stations are not top tier. Before 2019, Arco was completely outside of this game. This means additives are only at the basic EPA standard. Naturally, this also means your combustion chamber is unlikely to stay clean. Gradually, with carbon buildup, annoying signs like slightly rough idle weakening throttle response and steadily decreasing MPG will tend to become familiar to you. Additionally, many stations are said to be independently managed, with fuel tank conditions, fuel cleanliness, and filter replacement frequency all depending on the individual owner. Some do well, others seem indifferent. As a result, fuel tends to sit longer in storage. Tanks may be moist, sediment at the bottom goes untreated, affecting vehicles that drive fewer miles than most. So there you have it, a list of 5 brands we recommend avoiding whenever possible. If you want to know the options that let you fill up completely carefree, here are 3 names to remember. The core strength of Chevron lies in the Techron formula. These aren't just a few weak additives. Techron effectively cleans carbon deposits on valves, pistons, and fuel injectors, protecting direct injection systems whether the car is new or old. The result is smooth throttle response, stable MPG, and an engine that runs like new, even after 150,000 miles. Even more impressive is consistency. Every Chevron station across the US adheres to top-tier standards, meaning you don't have to worry that your car will run differently today because you filled up at this station and tomorrow at another. Carbon buildup, rough idle, and other engine annoyances have far less chance of occurring compared to using non-top-tier fuel. For those concerned about long-term maintenance costs, Chevron is truly an investment. Keeping valves and pistons clean, maintaining stable throttle response, and reasonable MPG will save you from recurring repair bills that older cars or direct injection systems are notoriously picky about. Of course, everything great comes at a price. Chevron is not cheap. You'll spend more per gallon than non-top tier fuel. And for those who drive only a few thousand miles a year, the sense of higher price but long-term benefits can be hard to feel immediately. But for many long-time drivers, this is considered a reasonable investment. The higher price is the only real downside, but fewer repair and maintenance bills more than make up for it. Shell's nitrogen-enriched cleaning system is what makes this brand stand out. It creates a protective layer inside the combustion chamber, limiting carbon buildup on valves, pistons, and fuel injectors. For anyone who's ever experienced a throttle response that feels weak or shaky idle, the long-term effectiveness of this system can feel like they finally found a cure for their car. Clean engines, smooth performance, stable MPG, and importantly, annoying issues like knocking or rough running are far less likely to appear. ExxonMobil's strength doesn't lie in flashy marketing, it's in the fuel formula itself. Their additives stay stable longer, withstand high temperatures, and remain effective even during long storage. This is especially useful for cars that are driven infrequently or for those living in hot states like Texas or Arizona, where engines can easily suffer if fuel isn't stable. Additionally, for newer vehicles with direct injection systems, ExxonMobil's detergents are highly rated for keeping injectors and combustion chambers clean, reducing the need for early maintenance. Another interesting point many older drivers will notice is the perceived fuel economy. Cars running on ExxonMobil often feel like they maintain more stable MPG on long drives. Choosing the right gas not only keeps your car running smoothly, but can also help you avoid unexpected repair costs down the road. To make it simple, here's a step-by-step, easy-to-follow guide to ensure that every fill-up actually protects your engine. Step 1. Check for the top-tier logo. Before you pump, make sure the station displays the top-tier logo. This indicates that the fuel you're buying has enough detergent additives to protect your fuel injection system and combustion chamber. Remember, not every station under the same brand meets top-tier standards. Step 2. Avoid low-traffic stations. Gas at low-traffic stations can sit in tanks for a long time, leading to oxidation, water contamination, or sediment buildup. Prioritize busier stations with high turnover. Step 3. Don't fill up immediately after the tank is refilled. Right after a tank is refilled, bottom sediment can get stirred up. If possible, wait a few hours or choose a different time to pump. Step 4. Observe engine performance after filling. Rough running, uneven idle, or lower MPG are warning signs that fuel quality is inconsistent or additives are too low. Step 5. Schedule regular maintenance if using non-top tier gas. Periodic fuel injector and system cleaning helps reduce buildup and avoid major repair costs. Follow these 5 simple steps and you can control fuel quality, protect your engine, and avoid memorizing every station in your area. For years, we've filled up without a second thought, assuming all gas stations are the same. But a small difference in additive levels, an overlooked logo, or a neglected storage tank can determine the difference between a clean, healthy engine and costly repair bills. Which gas brands have you been using? Share your experiences in the comments and let us know. Finally, this video is based on public sources, vehicle manuals, and automotive research for educational purposes only. not to promote any brand. Always verify information, follow your vehicle's recommendations, and make informed maintenance decisions. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.